Chapter 2, in which Pooh goes visiting and gets into a tight place. Edward Bear, known to his friends as Winnie the Pooh, or Pooh for short, was walking through the forest of Melbourne one day, humming proudly to himself. He had made up a little hum that very morning as he was doing his stoutness exercises in front of the glass. Love me or leave me, make your choice, but believe me, I love you. I do. That's what he was singing.
He was.
And as he stretched up high as he could go, and then, I do. Oh, help. As he tried to touch his toes. After breakfast, he had said it over and over to himself until he had learnt it off by heart, and now he was humming it right through properly. It went like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love me or leave me, make your choice, but believe me, I love you. I do. Yeah. Well, he was humming this hum to himself and walking gaily along, wondering what everybody else was doing and what it felt like being somebody else, when suddenly he came to a sandy bank, and in that bank was a large door-take hole. Aha, said Pooh. I do. If I know anything about anything, that door-take hole means our gig on Saturday night. And gigs on Saturday night means company, he said. And company means 1 free beer and paying to play, and such like. I do, he said to himself. So he bent down, put his head into the door-take hole, and called out, Is anybody at home? There was a sudden scuffling noise from inside the hole, and then silence. What I said was, Is anybody at home? Called out Pooh very loudly. No, said a voice, and then added, You needn't shout so loud. I heard you quite well the first time. Bother, said Pooh. Isn't there anybody here at all? Nobody. Winnie the Pooh took his head out of the door-take hole and thought for a little, and he thought to himself, there must be somebody there, because somebody must have said, Nobody. So he put his head back in the hole, the door-take hole, and said, Hello, venue operator. Are you charging the minimum fee? Oh, sorry. No, said the venue operator. No, said the venue operator in a different sort of voice this time. But isn't that the door-take venue operator's voice? I don't think so, said the venue operator. It isn't meant to be. Oh, said Pooh. He took his head out of the hole, the door-take hole, and had another think. And then he put it back and said, Well, could you very kindly tell me where the venue operator is? He's gone to see his friend Pooh Bear, who was a great friend of his. But this is me, said Bear, very much surprised. What sort of me? Pooh Bear! Are you sure? Said the venue operator, still more surprised. Quite sure, said Pooh. Oh, well then, come in. So Pooh pushed his way through the hole, the door-take hole, and at last he got in. You were quite right, said Rabbit, looking at him all over. It is you! Glad to see you! Who do you think it was? Well, I wasn't sure. You know how it is in the door-take forest of Melbourne. One can't have anybody come into one's gig. One has to be careful. What about a mouthful of something? Pooh always liked the little something at 11 o'clock at night, and he was very glad to see the venue operator getting out the plates and mugs. And when the door-take venue operator said, Honey or condensed milk with your free beer, He was so excited that he said, both! And then, so as not to seem greedy, he added, but that's all right, you can take it out of my door tag, along with the sound guys, 250 minimum. But don't bother about the bread, please. And for a long time after that, he said nothing. Until at last, humming to himself in a rather sticky voice, he got up, shook the venue operator lovingly by the paw, and said that he must be going on. Must you? Said the venue operator politely. Well, said Pooh, I could stay a little longer if you gave me the $250 minimum fee that my friend Tony Burke, the Minister of Arts, said, I do. He agreed to. And he tried very hard to look in the direction of the larder. As a matter of fact, said the venue operator, I was going out myself directly. Oh, well then, I'll be going on. Goodbye. Wow, goodbye, if you're sure you won't have any more. Is there any more? Asked Pooh quickly. The venue operator took the covers off the dishes and said, no, there wasn't. It's all just a door take. The whole band just gets petrol money each. I thought not, said Pooh, nodding to himself. Well, goodbye. I must be going on and finding a venue that gives a minimum fee and does the right thing by the musicians. Right thing. So he started to climb out of the hall. He pulled with his front paws and pushed with his back paws, and in a little while his nose was out in the open again, and then his ears, and then his front paws, and then his shoulders, and then... Oh shit, said Pooh. I'd better go back to my door take venue. Oh, bother, said Pooh. I shall have to go on. What shall I do? Shall I do the door take, or shall I ask for my minimum fee? I can't do either, said Pooh. Oh, help and bother. Now, by this time, the venue operator wanted to go for a walk too, and finding the front door full, he went out by the back door. That's the place where he went when the tax officer comes. He goes out by the back door. Cooking the books, mate! Cook, mate! Cook! And came round to Pooh and looked at him. Hello? Are you stuck? He asked. No, said Pooh carelessly. Just resting and thinking and humming to myself about the minimum fee, and the door take, and the sound guy, and all the people who flogs my shared drum kit. Here, give us a paw! And the venue operator pulled and pulled and pulled, and cooked and cooked and cooked. Oh, you're hurting me, venue operator, said Pooh. You're hurting me with your expectations for me to play for free and pay to play, and your expectation for me to show up with all the equipment and you don't have to pay for a thing, and for all of that you just give me one free beer. Oh, it's cooked, mate, cooked. Alright, you've made your point, I get it. I'm going off and getting some help from Tony Burke, the Minister of the Arts. Stay where you are. Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts, lived at the other end of the Melbourne forest, and when he came back with the venue operator and saw the front half of Pooh, he said, silly old bear, in such a loving voice that everyone felt quite hopeful again. I was just beginning to think, said Bear, sniffing slightly, that the venue operator might never be able to give us a minimum fee and never be able to use his front door again because he would always be going out the back door to avoid the tax inspector. And I should hate that, he said. I should hate it. So should I, said the venue operator. Use his front door again, said Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts. Of course he'll use his front door again. Good! If we can't pull you out, Pooh, we might push you back into the door takes. The venue operator scratched his whiskers thoughtfully and pointed out that when once Pooh was pushed back, he was back. You'll always be doing door takes. It's just the way it's always been. You mean I'll never get out of this door take wasteland? We've been using that same business model for two centuries now. Just at that moment, Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts, walked in and heard what was going on. The venue operator turned around, took his cooked books that he got all the venue grants from and pissed off. Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts, looked things over and then said to Pooh, "Pooh, you're between a rock and a hard place. Things are changing and they're changing for the good." Bear began to sigh and then found he couldn't because he was so tightly stuck and a tear rolled down his eyes and he said, "Then would you read your latest tax return, venue operator, such as would help and comfort a wedged bear in great tightness between a rock and a hard place of door take gigs and minimum fee?" So for a week, Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts, read that sort of book at the north end of Pooh, and the venue operator hung shit on his drum set and got all his mates to flog it on the south end. And in between, Bear felt himself getting slenderer and slenderer. And at the end of the week, Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts, said, "Now!" So he took hold of Pooh's front paws, and the venue operator took hold of Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts. And all the venue operator's friends who had been flogging Pooh's shared drum and relations took hold of the venue operator. They all took hold of each other. And they all pulled together. And for a long time, Pooh only said, and then all of a sudden he said, "Pop!" just as if a cork were coming out of his bottle of beer that was on the door take rider.
That's right.
The single bottle of beer.
I did that better.
And Tony Burke, Minister of the Arts, and the venue operator, and all the venue operator's friends and relations went head over heel backwards and pushed over poor Winnie the Pooh's shared flogged drum kit. And on top of them came Winnie the Pooh. He was free! He was used to, because he always played for free. But this time he was free. And with a nod of thanks to the venue operator and Tony Burke, the Minister of the Arts, they all walked together with all their friends through the Melbourne forest, all singing.
Minister, do you support the idea of a minimum fee?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Mr. Minister, do you support the idea of a minimum fee?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Love me or leave me, make your choice. But believe me, I love you. I do, I do, I do, I do, I do.
Thank you!
Love me or leave me, make your choice.
Sing
But
along!
believe me, I love you. I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. Love me or leave me, make your choice. But believe me, I love you. I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. Yeah! The end.